to adjust your device screen. We are in control of the broadcast. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. The time has come. Please stand by for a live transmission from Halloween Daily News. Yes, light 'em up, everybody. It is that time once again. It is Monday night on the airwaves in Haddonfield. We are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Hello, Haddonfield, and happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We're Halloween Daily News, and this HalloWeek Dance of the Dead you just found yourself smack dead in the middle of. It's what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live, our gathering, hangout, general celebration of all things Myers, Haddonfield, Santa Mira, and everything in between. So if you're new, thank you for being here. I hope you'll hang out. And to everybody else, what is up, y'all? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Happy Halloween. Happy HalloWeek. It is Monday, October 27th, 2025. We are live. I am happy to see all of you here. I am thrilled to be here. I'm tired. I feel like I'm just in the last few hours coming down with a cold or something, so apologies, but I am not going to let that bring me down, and this is our last Monday before the big day itself, Halloween. Not that Michael Myers Monday is going anywhere after Halloween, not that every day isn't already Halloween here at Halloween Daily, as it is, but it is Halloween week, and so we are doing it up, so thank you all for being here, and like I always say, if it's a Monday, that means you survived another week since our last live stream. You survived another Monday, which sometimes is just the hardest step, is the first step of the week. And in our case, if you base your whole year around Halloween like we do, well then you just survived a whole year of Michael Myers Mondays. So here's to you guys. Happy Michael Myers Monday 2025 Halloween week. Welcome to it. We are celebrating tonight. Thank you for being here. This is to you guys. I'm drinking my nice warm tea once again here tonight in my Michael Myers Every Day is Halloween mug from Spirit Halloween. Thanks for being here, everybody. I see a lot of friends and familiar faces in the live chat. Darlene, I appreciate the get better soon. Jason Baker video has checked in as well. Lighten them up. Barf is in the house. Ben Brown, what's up, man? Good to see you. Fall Guy, appreciate you being here. Another one of our illustrious channel members. I think I saw Blake in here as well. Another one of our illustrious channel members. Just $5 a month, everybody. $5 a month. And you get exclusive early access to so much of our pre-recorded content, including our interviews. And I'm going to use this opportunity real quick to step outside of Haddonfield and plug some of the exciting stuff we've got coming up here on the channel, including this week celebrating Halloween. Again, outside of Haddonfield, but if you are a fan of Michael Dougherty's modern classic Trick or Treat, we have got a double feature coming your way this week, starting on Wednesday with Monica Delane. She plays Janet in the film, and we're going to follow that up 2 days later on October 31st on Halloween Day with our exclusive one-on-one with Lauren Lee Smith. She plays Danielle in the film. Of course, Anna Paquin's character, Laurie's sister. You've seen the film. You know who they are. They are two of the party girls, the werewolf girls, in the surprise party segment of the film. And I had amazing one-on-one conversations with both of them just recently, just last week, as a matter of fact. And they were both really cool. And so very excited to bring you both of those. We've got a lot of other cool stuff coming your way as well. And then it's not going to stop, of course, after Halloween. We're kicking off our new year, which kicks off in November, as it did in the ancient days, right? And we've got a ton of awesome stuff coming your way then as well, including my exclusive interview that I just shot earlier today, as a matter of fact, with metal artist Scarlett. You're going to want to be here for that. And we got so much more stuff. I've got more unboxings coming your way. We've got full coverage of our Halloween Film Festival. We've got coverage from Nightmare Weekend in Richmond and lots more surprises and treats. So look for all that coming. And again, if you're a channel member for just $5 a month, you're going to get early access to all of that exclusive awesomeness. I see Michael Myers has silently checked in, just lurking silently as it should be. What's up, David Hyam? Another one of our loyal friends out there. Thanks for being here. Camp Blood Collections. What's up? I saw you plugging Silver Shamrock earlier. I love it. Phil is in the house as well. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Somebody was eating, was that Fall Guy eating pumpkin pie? Oh, man. Perfect. Sounds perfect right about now, right? Let's see. Who else checked in early? Jason, I think I said. Michael Myers was one of the first ones in the house tonight. Awesome, guys. Well, I think we got a fun one for you this evening. It's not going to be a very long show, but I do have some news bites to talk about. We do have some new video, behind the scenes footage of the Halloween video game that has dropped since last week. We've posted about it on social media, but we haven't talked about it here, and so we're going to get into that as well. And I might have a flashback video for you. We'll look at last week's poll results. We'll do some shout outs before we get out of here. And then in the second half of the broadcast, we are going to have a discussion about some of the best Michael Myers songs. That's right, songs about Michael Myers. Not just a shout out, but actually about Michael Myers. We're going to focus in on a couple of them, and of course we're going to open it up for you guys to vote on your favorites and of course suggest more. So we got all of that happening here tonight. So thank you for hanging out for yet another Michael Myers Monday, the final Michael Myers Monday before Halloween 2025. All right. Thank all of you for the well wishes. I do appreciate it. that makes me start feeling better already. Just you guys sending the positive hallow vibes my way. I love it. All right. Um, Real quick reminder: if you do order something this week, I mean, we're gonna ship it out immediately, but of course, it's already Monday. It's gonna be Tuesday or Wednesday when it goes out. At this point, there is a chance you won't receive it by Friday, by the 31st. But our 15% off Triple M exclusive sale on everything in stock at our online store does continue through Friday, through the 31st, right up until midnight. So, if you were thinking about snagging anything, you can still use code Triple M15 for 15% off at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. All right. I see Spooky Kitty has checked in as well. What's up? Want to hear something funny, everybody, tonight? H2O and Halloween H2O. Water. Everybody thought H2O and Halloween H2O. Yeah, I think I might have thought that at the very first time I heard it. I was like, oh my gosh, what are they going to do now? Put Michael Myers underwater, stalking a submarine or something. I think that thought did cross my mind the very first time I ever heard Halloween H2O. That's funny that you said that. Um, how mistaken I was, and and thankfully so, right? All right, guys. Let's go ahead and do our first news item because this has to do with the master himself, John Carpenter. That's right. As many of you know, John Carpenter is playing some concert dates, and that includes an upcoming date this Friday, Halloween night in Los Angeles. And today brings news that performance, that Halloween night performance in LA, here's the official poster, now sponsored by Bloody Disgusting, will be actually live streamed. It's going to be live streamed on a platform called Veeps, as well as on Bloody Disgusting's streaming platform Screambox. And of course, we looked into it. Here's Carpenter's post on Facebook. He says the music of my nightmares goes live, and he says at the end, I kind of like. He says, lock the doors, turn up the volume. I did go to the website, and yes, if you go to Veeps, it's basically a pay per view event, and what will happen is you will pay, as you can see here, it's $20, and you get to watch the live stream. And if it's the only time I've done this was for the some of you might have done it too for the Ozzy Osbourne Back to the Beginning farewell concert. When we did it there, once you bought it, you could watch it live, and you also had access to rewatch it for, I think it was 24 or 48 hours in that case. Um, but it'll be October 31st at 11 p.m. Eastern here. So, again, 8 p.m. out on the West Coast. Showtime. So, very cool opportunity for those of us that can't be there in person. I don't know how loud those clicks are. They probably are pretty loud. Sounds like a picture being taken, but that's my external camera switching back and forth. That's, if you guys are wondering. Let me know if it gets extra annoying. Um, but the reason it switches over is so that I can do things, well, like we've done a few times, where I'm on screen with what we're talking about. And what we're talking about next, our next news item, this is what I'm talking about, me being on screen. Um, this year, of course, marks the 30th anniversary of Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. And that is being celebrated in many ways, including a new vinyl pressing from Mondo, is reported here by Bloody Disgusting. And it is available now through Mondo. It is priced at $50 and it's going to ship in March of 2026. But check out this new artwork here. Get a better shot of that. There you go. And it's very much like a ink blotter image. Very interesting. And you can see the vinyl itself. I love this also, with the H6 jack-o'-lanterns in the center, the pumpkin guts. And that new artwork is by artist Janie Peacock. And that reissue is pressed on what they call Thorn Harvest colored vinyl. Very cool. Now, while that is awesome, nothing for me will beat my own copy of the Halloween Curse of Michael Myers soundtrack, which is on CD. That's right, you know, um, 90s forever, man. But I've got the CD, and you'll remember it was about 10 years ago when Alan Howarth released the double album, including the theatrical soundtrack and his producer's cut soundtrack, which is very different. You remember the theatrical soundtrack has much more of the electric guitar in it, which I like, and it's cool. The producer's cut, however, it's still Howarth, but it's very much more in tune with the traditional Carpenter-esque soundtracks. So I loved when he re-released the original and packaged it with that producer's cut. It was 10 years ago in 2015 when the producer's cut was first officially released in that Ultimate Collection from Scream Factory. And I've actually got my copy of it. I think it's over. Actually, I think it's upstairs. I would pull it out over here. I think it's upstairs because we ordered it and we ordered the autographed one. Or did we have Alan autograph it when we saw him at Flashback Weekend? I don't know. I have to check with Sue on that. But we've got it and it's autographed and it's upstairs. I wish I had it here to show you, but that's my favorite edition of the Curse soundtrack, where you get the best of both worlds because I like them both. Okay, now our next news item. Interesting news from the world of home entertainment. Um, Arrow Video, they are a UK based company and one of the top of the line is as far as their releases. Well, a few days ago, they shared a very interesting trailer on their social media accounts for a brand new 4K transfer of the original Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween. It was posted on the Arrow Video Instagram in collaboration with the Letterboxd Instagram account with the caption exclusive trailer for the newly restored Halloween directed by John Carpenter. Arrow Video's restoration is now available on digital via Apple TV. So, um, very interesting news because, as you know, it has been Scream Factory that has had the rights uh, to the original Halloween for the last decade, pretty much, uh, and um, and they had the most recent 4K release was the Scream Factory release and various steelbooks and so forth, and now it appears that Arrow Video has the rights now. Um, Now this is only a digital release right now on Apple TV. Um, does that mean that we're going to get a new physical 4K release of 78? Obviously, we're not getting it this week. Um, it would be a good time if Arrow Video wanted to announce it, but again, if they announced it this week, then when would it actually be released? Like a whole year from now? I don't know. So I don't know if this signals that, but it's kind of hard to think that they wouldn't, even though there's been countless reissues, re-releases over the years, including in 4K. This is what they are calling a newly restored Halloween. So if this is a new transfer, yet another 4K, um, it'll be very interesting. And from what I understand, Arrow is like top of the line in how they do their 4K transfers. Now, I will say that again, I have my 4K copy of Halloween, the original Halloween, and I'm actually embarrassed to say this is my only 4K copy of Halloween. Um, this was the first time it was released on 4K back in 2018 for the 40th anniversary. And this is actually a Lionsgate release on 4K in 2018. Then, of course, a few years ago came the really nice Scream Factory 4K, which I kind of thought was the definitive edition. I'm embarrassed I still don't own that edition yet. And that was from, again, an all new transfer, and apparently, 4K experts with a much better eye for all of this than I have compared, and there's noticeable differences and everything. Um, so now we might be getting yet another version. I don't know. It doesn't say anything like that on this post, and there's nothing that's nothing announcing that. But you would think, as often as this has been um, reissued, re-released, that it's not going to happen at some point with a new rights holder and somebody as big as Arrow Video. My biggest thing would be, you know, obviously the packaging is going to be new artwork, all that good stuff. Are we going to get some cool new bonus features, some cool new bonus content? If we get that, that's going to get me extra excited. And of course, a new look at the film and everything. But again, I still got to get the Screen Factory actually. But and so you guys let me know what you think that means. And have any of you watched this new 4K version on Apple TV since, like, in the past week or so, since Arrow took over and put it up there? And how does it look in your eyes? And we do have, as always, it wouldn't be a Michael Myers Monday news roundup if we didn't have a little bit of merch news, especially here in late October, Halloween week. And this is pretty cool. If yeah, check this out. PCS has announced a life-size Michael Myers bust. Let's go over to the main website. So, this is over at Premium Collectibles Studio, collectpcs.com. This is the just announced Michael Myers life-size bust. And this is the exclusive version, only available from their website. And the difference with that one is it comes with a alternate knife, a bloody knife you can swap out, and a stand that is actually the Judith Myers tombstone stand. But let's just look at this bust for a minute. Because, I mean, we know PCS does some outstanding work. High dollar work, but man, the quality. This is going to be life size bust. He's got his right arm and hand holding the knife. The left arm just kind of drops off, as you can see there. And he's on a stand, almost at the waist, kind of a little above the waist, it appears where it would be. But yeah, that mask looks awesome to me. The hair, the way they've got it styled right here, looks totally on point. Let's go back in here for a minute. Pre-orders are going to start on Thursday, October 30th, right here at collectpcs.com. I'll put the link down in the description. And again, there's the standard version and then the exclusive version here. And they've not put a price up yet. They've not revealed that. But I do expect it to be quite up there, in line with some of the prices you see down here for some of their other high-end collectibles. But man, is this going to be a showpiece or what? What do you guys think about this life-size bust? And what do you predict the price will be? All right, let's turn over here into the live chat before we hit our final news bite, which is our update on the highly anticipated Halloween video game. I see somebody has dropped us a super chat. What's up? Protect Sales 199. It's our week, friends. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thank you very much for your contribution. Of course, super chats are enabled and welcome and go a long way in supporting everything we do here. So we definitely appreciate you, Protect Safes. Yeah, Fall Guy agrees. You can always count on Halloween and Army of Darkness to get a million re-releases. Absolutely. Hyam wants a Halloween box set in 4K, possibly. That would be great, but man, to the rights to get all 13 movies, not to mention all the alternate cuts and everything in one box set now, it would be amazing and a must own. But uh, that would be a big ask, I feel like, at this point. Maybe by the 50th, they'll be able to do something like that. Jason says that bust is badass. Yeah, it looks great. Hey, Sonia has checked in. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome. Um, Jason wouldn't be surprised if it costs around 2K. That's what I'm thinking. It's probably going to be around that. Megan is checked in. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Fall Guy likes the H6 guitar soundtrack. Yeah, the theatrical soundtrack. I like them both. I do like the guitar in that. Ben agrees. Always like the guitar riff with the chases. Yep. Barf predicts the bust will be more like 3,500. Yeah, I mean, again, some of their like big giant figures, which are not life size, are 2K. So it might be. Yeah, it could be as much as 35. Okay, we're going to jump over here and look at some new behind the scenes footage from the making of the new Halloween video game. And the the game's official TikTok is where they have shared some pretty incredible video in recent days. And I'm going to pull that up right now. And we're going to take a look. Since we talked about the video game 1 week ago, as we were here during our Michael Myers Monday live broadcast, um, they actually on TikTok dropped new footage of Nick Castle doing a kill, and it's a pretty brutal kill. And I actually added that when I recut our discussion here into a news report and published it the next day. I actually added that little bit the uh, about um, that new footage into the end of the report. So hopefully you caught that. Um, it is a here. I'll pull it up again over here. It is on the Halloween TVG for Halloween the video game TikTok account, and I'll show you that video first. That's what you're looking at here. This is Nick Castle. And this is awesome because I love Nick's intensity right here as he looks up his performance. He's really trying to embody this shape that he created. Um, but since then, since we got that video, it was then answered with another video of yet another behind the scenes look at yet another kill in the game. This one performed by our new shape, TJ Storm. Now look at this. This is just great right here. Look at his intensity here. And that's Hunter C. Smith that they're working with. Now Nick choked the guy out. TJ here is using, I don't know, an axe or something. Some kind of weapon that's going to be. But man, his intensity. And when you hear the audio, which you can watch it at Halloween Daily News if you haven't yet. When you hear that audio, you will really see what I am talking about when it comes to the intensity. He is taking this so seriously, and that's what we want to hear. And the fact that they're showing us these kills, I mean, we know already that Michael's not just going to have his kitchen knife. Obviously, there's going to be numerous ways to kill the citizens of Haddonfield. And but yeah, this is our first time really seeing this guy in action portraying the shape, and I think it's pretty good. I think it's looking great so far, actually. But again, if you have not watched it, we did post an article at HalloweenDailyNews.com. We did share it in our other socials right when it broke, but we haven't talked about it here on Michael Myers Monday Live yet, and it did break since last week, so I wanted to make sure we got to that this week. Now, tell me what you think watching TJ Storm film this kill. Here, I listen to some of the audio. He's like, shunk, shunk. That's just so cool. Like dragging him back from war, and then the kill blow. Really cool. All right, how excited are we for TJ Storm and Nick Castle to collectively embody the shape in the Halloween video game now? The great David Suber has checked in as well. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thanks for being here. Happy HalloWeek. Teen Wolf in the house as well. Happy Halloween and Michael Myers Monday. Tim Leo has checked in as well. Awesome. Great to see everybody. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Very cool. Jason says, can't wait for this game. David says the next Michael Myers is TJ, he thinks. I think he's gonna do good. I mean, just from what we're seeing there, we've only seen a little bit. Now, are we going to get more from the game this week? What do you guys think? I think we are. I think there's going to be definitely some more footage like this, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe even we get another trailer or maybe some other announcement like the Nick Castle reprising Michael Myers announcement. Maybe we get some other kind of voiceover talent announcement, something like that. I mean, if Jamie Lee Curtis is involved, I don't think she is, but if she is, this might be the time to announce it this week. Um, if John Carpenter, I mean, we know John Carpenter is involved. He's listed as executive producer, and in the initial announcement over a year ago, they said he'd be intimately involved. And of course, he's a huge gamer anyway, so it only makes sense. But if maybe they were going to announce that he was going to do some new music, like some fresh music just for the game, maybe this would be the week to announce that. In any case, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we don't get some. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get some uh, news, some kind of announcement, something significant within the next 4 days between now or actually on October 31st regarding this game. Because if you think about by this time next year, by Halloween of 2026, the game will be out for over a month by that point. It's coming out September 8th, 2026. So tell me what you think. Tim's asking if we have any of the Halloween 3 masks left. I wish we did. We are unfortunately out of the Silver Shamrock Big 3 at the moment, unfortunately. All right. Like I said, our main course tonight, our main discussion is going to be some of the best Michael Myers songs out there. Before we get to that, though, I am going to take a brief break and play a flashback video for you guys. And this is a throwback to 2024, March of 2024, and my exclusive one-on-one interview with Mr. Tom Jones Jr. We first met Tom actually in California for the H45 event and connected with him there. And then a few months later, we were able to put together an interview, and it was awesome. And of course, we talked about his work on multiple projects, but mostly we talked about Halloween Kills. And of course, I couldn't get enough about the fact that he went from building the sets and early building the Myers house and Halloween 78, all that gorgeous recreated Halloween 78, to go from that to actually then portraying the iconic role of Dr. Loomis in that movie. Just unbelievable. And he's just the coolest, nicest guy. And he's worked on a ton of amazing projects too, not just Halloween Kills. But so this is a clip from that interview. You can watch the full interview in the interviews playlist here on the channel or at HalloweenDailyNews.com anytime, or you can listen to the audio anytime on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. We are the Halloween Daily Podcast, wherever you get those podcasts. And even if you've already watched the interviews here on YouTube, I urge you just go and like the podcast, follow the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, and if you wouldn't mind, maybe just give us a 5-star rating on the podcast. Even if you're not going to listen because you've already got it all here on YouTube, it'll help other people find us that want to listen. So I would appreciate that. So thank all you guys. Now, I'm going to be right here lurking in the live chat like Michael Myers. And I'll be back in about 8 minutes after this clip from my 2024 interview, my exclusive with Tom Jones Jr. on becoming Dr. Loomis. While all these working labs, which is so I know you've talked about it before, but walk us through how after all these decades of working on all these sets for all these filmmakers, the decision was made to put you in front of the camera as the new Dr. Loomis?
Well, that actually happened on 2018 because we were still working with the original script. So
Okay, so they were going to do it.
Our very first department head meeting, we're sitting in a conference room, and all the important people are at a table, and the rest of us were on the perimeter, just in folding chairs, and they're going through scenarios and schedule and so forth and so on. And the first AD leans forward and he looks down and he says, "Hey." I said, "Me?" And he says, "Yeah." He says, "Take your glasses off." So I took my glasses off. He says, "Give me a look." So I gave him the sort of the stare, and he punched David. He says, "Hey, we've got our Loomis right here." So David said, "Yeah, works for me." So that's where the plan was hatched. Subsequently, they wrote that scene out of the script, but once the success of 2018 had come to fruition, they knew they had the horsepower to do their flashback sequence that they had wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Even though this wasn't the same scene, it gave birth to a whole 15 minutes of 1978 Haddonfield. Mm-hmm. And so when they came back they did Halloween Kills in Wilmington, and as soon as they showed up to start prep, they just called me Loomis. "Hey, Loomis, what's going on today? Hey, Loomis, this, Loomis, that. Hey, Loomis, you look like you need to put some weight on. You're looking a little too skinny," and stuff like this. So anyway, that was, it was all kind of fun and games. And then they said, "Well, we need you to fly to Los Angeles and get a live cast done of your head for prosthesis." So they flew me out to LA. I went to a studio that Chris Nelson was involved with, and Vincent Van Dyke, and they shaved my head and my goatee and everything. They took a live cast, and then they built, they had a model to work with. So they had like a 3D of Donald Pleasant's, 3D model of his head. And then they took mine and just built, they put bags under my eyes, over my eyes, added to my ears, made my head a little bit taller, put a little prosthesis on the end of my nose. So there were 11 kind of small pieces altogether. So they made those up there, and then they shipped them back to Wilmington, and we did a camera test one day, and full costume, and I just pantomimed a scene, and they said, "That's it, we're done." So I went back to my day job and kept doing that until the fateful night that I went on stage, which was, we had a very ambitious build on that show. We built our Haddonfield neighborhood on stage.
Oh,
we built six houses, trees. We had about 15
including the Myers house too.
We took the Myers house from the 78 film, and the house on either side of that, we had enough archival information to recreate those two houses. So that was one side of the street. And then the other side of the street was a neighborhood where we did our 78 and 2019 trick-or-treating. It played in two different eras, so that when you were trick-or-treating in the neighborhood, you always assumed that the house behind you was the Myers house, and the house across the street was the one that the camera was seeing. So it was a cut-to situation. Mm-hmm. So we copied 3 houses in this neighborhood called Carolina Heights. So those were on the other side of the street, and we did, we paved the street, we carved all the trees on the hero side to match the trees in 1978 that were in the Pasadena neighborhood. And then we had the Haddonfield Hospital going on. We built the burn set of Jamie Lee's house on the field at the studio. We built the exterior out in the country at another house to copy the house in Charleston. So we were going 7 days a week on that show, and I was actually running a crew. We were doing we're syncing up a scene from 2018 where Will Patton gets stabbed in the neck. Do you remember that set? He gets stabbed in the neck by that doctor.
Yep.
Blood starts spurting, and so we picked that scene up at a location in Wilmington that we had to do a bunch of modifications to match it up. And I was actually running that crew out there. And this was on Friday afternoon. So I left about 3:00 and I came home. I took a shower. I laid down for a couple of hours. Then I had to be at hair and makeup at 6. So I was in hair and makeup for 4 hours. And then I walked over. We were right in front of the sound stage. So I went in the sound stage, and as soon as I walked in, I was in the next scene up. So during the night, I was in half a dozen different scenes. Some I was like the focal point, and others where I was background. And we finished up about 7:30 in the morning. I went back to hair and makeup and had everything taken off. I went home, took a couple of shots of tequila, and took about a 2-hour nap, and then I got up and went back to work.
And there he is with a little bit of prosthetic help from the master Christopher Nelson. Our friend, Mr. Tom Jones Jr. Again, if you haven't watched that full interview, I urge you to check it out elsewhere here on the channel, or like I said, anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com. It's a fun one. All right. We are going to get into our main discussion this evening, which is one, we've done similar discussions, and we might have hit on these before. I'm sure I have on previous broadcasts, but I've wanted to devote a segment for a while now on this topic. So this should be a fun one. You know, we've talked about the best songs featured in the Michael Myers Halloween movies. And what we're going to do tonight is a similar discussion, but slightly more tweaked. Because, as you know, here on Michael Myers Monday Live, we celebrate Michael Myers. And tonight, we're celebrating some of the songs that celebrate Michael Myers. Now, I'm not talking about songs featured in the Michael Myers movies. We've talked about those before, and there's a lot of great ones. And that's a whole different playlist. What we're talking about here tonight are songs that are specifically lyrically about Michael Myers, or at least this franchise. And we're not even talking about the other subcategory of Michael Myers songs, which is shoutouts, because there's a ton of those. There's almost countless amount of those. So many songs where they just mention Michael Myers somewhere in the lyrics. Now, a lot of those are great too. And on a different night, we'll have that discussion about those. But tonight, we're going to focus on just a couple of my favorite and what I consider to be most notable songs, the best songs about Michael Myers, the best Michael Myers songs. And there might be more than you realize. I'm sure there's probably more than I realize. This is not even all of them that we're going to talk about tonight. I have included a playlist where you can find all of the ones I've accumulated, but even that playlist, I'm not going to sit here and say is all of them because there's tons and there's always more being written. And of course, this is a discussion, so I invite you to chime in with your picks and favorites, and when it's said and done here, the ones that I might have missed that you know and love. So we're gonna start off, and again, I can't play the songs here tonight because I don't want to get into copyright infringement problems. But what we can do is we can look at some of the artwork of some of the albums that on which these songs are featured. All right, so up first, we are taking it all the way back to 1984, and the band The Meteors. Their song, simply titled Michael Myers, appears on their 1984 album Stampede, and it is just a fun kind of punk rock song, loosely based on the films. It is called Michael Myers. They are clearly talking about our Michael Myers, but they do play it a little bit loose in the lyrics about some of the facts. Like at one point, they kind of say that the 1978 killings happened in 1974 because it rhymes better with the lyrics, I guess. But in any case, it is a celebration of Michael Myers. It's a fun, short little 1980s um, horror influence punk song celebrating Michael Myers. And it is, I believe, the earliest one of these Michael Myers songs that we have uncovered. But that's not the only time that this particular artist, that the Meteors dove in to Michael Myers and took a little drive into the Haddonfield city limits. Because a few years later, in 2001, on their album Psycho Down, they would do another Myers inspired song, this one called Halloween Scream. And this song, if you haven't heard it, it's doesn't have lyrics about the movies. It doesn't have any lyrics, in fact. Is the song is entirely sampled by the Halloween 4 theatrical trailer. So you literally have the narrator, you have screams, and you have even Loomis speaking at the end. Again, it's a fun, almost surf punk rock instrumental, pretty much. It is an instrumental, but with some really cool samples of one of the best trailers in the history of this franchise, I might argue. So the Meteors kicking us off with double feature, Michael Myers and Halloween Scream. And again, all these songs I'm talking about, you can find in the playlist I put in the description here. It's a public playlist on my own personal Spotify, and it's just called Michael Myers Songs. All right, next up, we can't talk about Michael Myers songs, song references, or just Michael Myers in music without talking about Tech Nine. He is a legendary, iconic rap artist and a notorious Halloween Michael Myers fanatic. He routinely wears a mask, like you see here, that is a bit of a Myers throwback. And 10 years ago, in 2015, he put out one of the definitive, in my opinion, Michael Myers songs ever put out. It is called quite fittingly here for our discussion on Michael Myers Monday, Triple M. That's right, it is called Triple M. In his case, he's called referring to Michael Myers' mask, but yeah, it also works as a theme song for us here on Michael Myers Monday Live. It is awesome. The lyrics are insane. I mean, his rap skills are insane, but you need to look up the lyrics if you never have. He references not just Michael Myers, the whole song is about Michael Myers, as the title indicates, but he references everybody from the great Mustafa Akkad to the late great Deborah Hill to, of course, Carpenter, Malik Akkad, William Shatner. I mean, he's calling out the original Shatner mess. So good, so good. Laurie Strode, all of it. It's all in there, and it is just one of my favorite musical odes to the shape, Tech Nine, and it's far from his only one. Again, he's routinely mentioning, shouting out Michael Myers and in his songs, but you've got to check out Triple M if you never have. It is so good. All right, this next one is actually one that I just discovered, and the band is Blitzkid. They're actually from West Virginia, and again, they're a rock band, kind of modern punk a little bit. I say modern. I'm old, so anything like 20 or 30 years old, I still almost consider modern pretty much. But no, Blitzkid, this is their, again, throwing it way back to 2001. They put out a great Myers inspired song called Myers 1031, and I highly recommend it. It is, again, the most recent addition to my Michael Myers songs playlist because I only recently discovered it, but it is damn awesome. And this cover for the album, their 2001 album, Let Flowers Die, that is, I believe, the original Frankenstein adaptation ever put on film, like the pre-Universal silent film era Frankenstein. What a haunting image. Love them for that too. All right. Up next, now, Rob Zombie. A lot of people might not know, or they might have forgotten about Rob Zombie. Wrote a song and released a song all about Michael Myers. His Michael Myers in particular, from his remake and its sequel. The song, titled simply Michael, it was released on his album Hellbilly Deluxe 2, the sequel, and it was released in 2010, and it is exactly that. It is his song about inside Michael's head. And just like his films, especially H2, the song lyrically goes inside Michael's head. Yes, the white horse is in the song and so much more. And it even includes a little bit clip of dialogue of Sherry speaking as Deborah Myers and young Michael in that movie, Chase Wright Bannock. So again, now I admit I am a Rob Zombie fan of his films, but of his music as well, especially though his early stuff, like even going back to the days of White Zombie, his band before he was a solo artist. That's when I first got into his music, and that's my favorite stuff. And his first two solo albums. This song, I mean, it's good. It's creepy. I can't say that it rocks as hard as some of his other stuff, but it is a very creepy, just kind of moody song. And again, just a fascinating glimpse into Zombie's version of Michael's mind. And now we talked about this last week, but going from Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, we have to at least also, we'd be remiss if we didn't shout out our friend Dave Farrick, the only artist, musical artist slash actor to have portrayed Michael Myers and then also released a song about Michael Myers. And that's what he gave us just this month in October of 2025. His latest song is called Killa. That's Killa, if you want to look for it. Again, it's on the playlist, but this is Dave, even in his music video, rocking a familiar looking clown mask. And yeah, the song, he's literally rapping about being Michael Myers and killing. Now, talking about Michael Myers songs could not be complete without one of my favorite artists. Just in general, he's got a ton of great stuff, but I'm talking about Wednesday 13. And one of the tracks that really got me into Wednesday is his 2006 track, simply titled Haddonfield. It is a classic track as far as I'm concerned. It is so catchy, so fun, and he basically lays out the whole story of Halloween 78. Loomis, Laurie, they're all in it. It's awesome. And if that wasn't great enough, he followed it up in 2022, right around the time that Kills was released, with an actual sequel to the song. The original Haddonfield came from his '06 album, Fang Bang. The sequel, Return to Haddonfield, comes from his 2022 album, Horrifier. Both awesome songs, in my opinion. Again, I'm a fan to begin with of his music. He's got so many songs written about and inspired by our favorite horror movies. These two specifically are all about Michael Myers and Haddonfield. Gotta love that. And finally, of course, we have to talk about Ice Nine Kills. Just like Wednesday 13, they have countless tracks that are devoted to celebrating the icons of horror, our favorite horror classics. So many great ones. On their album, The Silver Scream from 2018, they gave us one of the greatest Michael Myers songs ever with Stabbing in the Dark. It is typical Ice Nine Kills, if you know the band, which means a catchy, hooky chorus that just gets in your head, and some insane extreme metal with a healthy dose of cinematic lyrics. And it's great. It's absolutely one of the best ones on this whole list. And I'm not giving them to you in any particular order, but personally, I like all these songs, and I definitely recommend you check them out if you haven't. And a special shout out to the acoustic version of Stabbing in the Dark, which I also highly recommend and is also definitely on our Michael Myers songs playlist. It too is equally awesome, but even more haunting, more, well, it's darker, and I don't know, I kind of prefer it sometimes. Um, One more honorable mention. It's not about Michael Myers, and it doesn't mention Michael Myers, but it does celebrate our favorite neighboring town to Haddonfield, with that being Santa Mira. That's right. The band Cauldron gifted us with an amazing track called Santa Mira from their album In Ruin. It rocks. And yeah, they are talking. They don't call out Cochrane and Silver Shamrock specifically, but they talk about the masks. They talk about the children going missing. It is awesome and it rocks. I highly recommend it, and it totally makes the Michael Myers songs playlist, even though it's not specifically about Michael Myers. It gets in there as an honorable mention because it's Santa Mira, and how many songs are about Halloween 3? Far fewer. Sick cover art too. Now, like I said, this is far from all of the songs about Michael Myers that are out there in existence. And it's not even beginning to touch the many songs that have given Michael Myers and or this franchise in some way some kind of shout out in the lyrics over the years. But these are some of my favorites, some that I recommend you check out if you didn't know about, if you weren't aware of them. And now, of course, I invite you. Tell me about the ones I missed. Remind me. Oh, I'm probably going to feel stupid when you remind me. Tell me the ones I missed. Tell me some of your favorites out of these. Did you learn about any of these in this report, in this roundup, or were you already fully aware? Again, I put my own playlist down there, and there's other ones in there as well. There are other ones, including all the shout outs are in there. Not all, but many of the shout outs are included in our playlist. So you'll find them in there as well. So I look forward to continuing this discussion, and hope you enjoy adding a healthy dose of Shape Rock into your Halloween playlist this year. All right. I'm going to jump over here to the live chat now and see what you guys think. Spooky Kitty Jenny says, Matt, I have a Michael Myers song, Hunter's Moon from Ghost. Yes. Yeah, I love that one as well. From Halloween Kills. Now, I did talk about that one when we talked about all the best songs featured in the movies. That's why I didn't mention it in this particular roundup. But I love that one. Now, that one's in my general Halloween playlist, and I just like the song in general. Barf says, embarrassed to say I had never heard of many of them, any of them. Super excited to hear the playlist. Shape Rock, yes. Yeah, there's a lot of Shape Rock out there, believe it or not. Maybe I should subtitle the playlist that Michael Myers songs, Shape Rock, Volume 1. um, I might do that. But yeah, check it out. And again, I lean a little more to the rock side, but like I said, Tech Nine. I mean, that's full on like some of the best rap. Like if you like Eminem, or again, I'm old, so I'm an old school '90s guy, you know. But I love Eminem, and Tech Nine is kind of that style, especially on this particular song. But you'll love it. His references, because you guys know the franchise as much as I do and as much as he does, you will love all of his references. Like I said, stuff about Deborah Hill, Mustafa Akkad. It's just great. You know, he gives Malik a specific shout out. It's awesome. So there's all styles in there as well, beyond only rock. Although, you know, I always do say that rock and metal, or metal and horror is what I say. Horror and metal. Uh, it's like peanut butter and jelly, man. They just go together perfectly, right? All right, so keep the conversation going on the songs. Like I said, that's one. I know we've talked about a lot of those before. I've talked about them before on here, but I've wanted to do that, and there's always more coming out. And like I said, there's going to be a whole other discussion on a different night where I'll focus specifically on those shout outs and some of my favorite just Michael Myers cameo shout outs within songs that aren't particularly about Michael Myers, but there's a lot of those too that I love. and a lot of those are in that playlist. So that'll be for a different discussion. All right, before I forget, let's do last week's poll results because we last week we did a poll because I forgot to do it the week before, so we're throwing it way back to when we were talking about all of the characters in all of the movies that ever wore Michael's mask, other than Michael. And we asked who your favorite was among them. And so let's jump over to that poll and get the results. We asked what is your favorite time a character other than Michael Myers wore Michael's mask in the Halloween movies? And let's see. Well, in fourth place comes Spitz in Halloween 5. He only got 6% of the vote, followed with just 8% of the vote in third place, Dr. Sartain in Halloween 2018. So y'all didn't care for them. Corey Cunningham, though, however, in Halloween Ends comes in second place with 22% of the vote. But the easy winner is Ben Tramer in Halloween 2 with 65% of the vote. Now, I did get a comment. I think it might have been on Instagram, or it might have been on the video itself. We got a comment, and I'd love to hear y'all's take on this. Basically saying that Ben Tramer did not wear Michael's mask, and this is I think a valid point anyway. Because he didn't really wear Michael's mask. And yes, in the rest of my roundup, it is, for the most part, anyway, people putting on Michael's mask. Now, I say for the most part, when we talk about Resurrection, it's a different mask. It's not literally Michael's mask. When we talk about Spitz, it is a different mask. So, it's not always like the Corey Cunningham where they're literally putting on Michael's mask, or the Dr. Sartain where they're literally putting on Michael's mask. There have been lots of those. So again, we could break it down into even smaller subcategories. So there is something to be said for that Ben Tramer wasn't wearing Michael's mask. But if we're going to eliminate him, then yes, we also have to eliminate Busta Rhymes as Freddy from Resurrection. And we have to eliminate all the pranksters from Halloween 4. And we'd have to eliminate Spitz, like I said, from Halloween 5. So, some of the others would still be valid in that scenario, but not them. So there we go. But a good point. So thank you for participating in the poll. All right. Let's do a couple Michael Myers Monday shout outs. It is Halloween week, and a lot of people marking it throughout the social sphere. And a lot of people marking it on TikTok with sharing videos of dancing Michaels. Lots of dancing Michaels on the TikTok right now. Are y'all seeing this? I don't know how much time y'all spend on the TikTok, but every Michael Myers Monday, there's more and more videos like this posted by CJB Creating with Michael Myers, like breaking it down and celebrating and dancing, and I just don't even know what to make of all of it. This is far from the only one. This is another one on TikTok. But Bowden Bradley Estates shared this one. Oh yeah, well this isn't dancing, but this, you'll remember this trend from a while ago, the Michael Myers challenge. Well, we got a couple more of those posted today on Michael Myers Monday, where people try to run and unlock their door before Michael Myers gets there and stabs them. This was a bit of a trend on TikTok a few years ago, and Bowden's not the only one doing it. Over here, Innovatory also posted their own. The real test isn't surviving Monday; it's unlocking the door before Michael Myers catches you. That's pretty good. Again, everybody always takes Michael Myers Monday and makes it what they want. Interesting outfit Myers is rocking here. but got his standard walk for the most part. Oh, I spoke too soon. They even got a little ghost in there. That's pretty cool. All right. Enough of that. Let's jump over to threads. We got one from Kit Moon Zombie says, Happy Michael Myers Monday and only 4 more days until Halloween. Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. On Twitter, X, former Twitter, Christy at Center Queen 7 shares this shot of the great James Jude Courtney. That must be on the set of Kills or 2018, I guess. Says, good morning, y'all. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I hope everyone's morning has been a nice one so far. Mine's been good. Guess what? It's Halloween week. Yay! And it's the beginning of a new week, too. So go kick it in the ass. Anyways, have an amazing one, everyone. Black Hearts. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Love the HalloWeek vibes and positivity. All right, jumping over to the gram on Instagram. The man himself, Tyler May, never disappoints, always sharing some Michael Myers Monday flashbacks. This one, he's asking who else is getting ready for Halloween, asking what we're up to, and sharing this video that I guess Dead Meat shared a flashback video to their kill count for Rob Zombie's remake. Another one from Instagram. This is the Shape of Winter saying Happy Michael Myers Monday and Happy Halloween week. And then he adds, yes, Mr. Mildew kisses his pumpkins. What do y'all think? Does Michael kiss pumpkins? And one more from Instagram. This is posted by Smith's Grove Sanitarium using his Myers cam for yet another Michael Myers Monday video. Nope. I don't know where that video went now. Let's see if we can pull that back so you can see it. No, almost had it. This is it. No, that's a different one. Well, I don't know what happened to that video. Here it is. The Myers can. And he does friendly Myers. So the kids don't run away screaming. The high-fiving Myers. Very cool. So you guys know what's up. Every week we celebrate our fandom of the greatest horror icon of them all. Greatest horror franchise of them all. And we encourage you use the hashtag and of course tag us. We're all over all the socials. All of those we just went through and more. And yeah, I just take a random selection every week and share some of those. David pointed out the Merkins too have some great Michael Myers songs. They do. They do a lot of great stuff in their videos, especially. Excuse me. Are great. Their videos are hilarious. But you're right. Shout out to the Merkins. Always like what they're doing. Yeah, Slice Baby by the Merkins. Thank you, Barf and David. I'm going to have to add that to the playlist too, for sure. All right, guys. We got a big week ahead. It's our time. It's HalloWeek. When next we see each other, it will be it will be the start of our new year. Also, the start of the long, dark winter. Yeah, it'll be in November, probably next Monday. And usually, what we do on the first Monday after Halloween is a bit of a recap of our own personal Halloween events and festivities, and I'll share some of that. And of course, be looking out for news updates because I do expect some kind of video game news this week for sure. And keep an eye out because I mentioned this last week and some of you commented that you think it would be a good idea. Comment again now or here in the live chat. Let me know what you think because we are very much looking at doing a Halloween Eve live countdown to midnight. That would be this Thursday, October 30th. That would mean starting at our traditional late night slot of 10:31 p.m. Eastern, and the plan would be to go about 90 minutes or so. And for much of the for most of the broadcast, I mean, obviously, if there's news of any kind, this would not be a Myers specific broadcast. This would be a Halloween daily broadcast of just everything. But we would be looking back at some of the biggest stories and interviews that we did over the last year or so. And I would of course have some clips and we'd look at that. Sue would come in at a certain point and join me and offer her commentary on take on some of this stuff, and it would just kind of be a fun, laid back countdown to midnight, essentially the way they do New Year's Eve. But for us, who cares about that? This is much more important. It's Halloween Eve. So let me know if that's something you'd be down with. Again, we're going to make the final call probably tomorrow, and we'll announce it if it is going to be happening so that you can plan to be here. It would be, again, starting 10:31 p.m. Eastern, running for about 90 minutes to 2 hours or so, a little bit past midnight. But it would culminate with a countdown, with a virtual pumpkin drop, and a hearty happy Halloween to everybody watching to help kick off your official October 31st. So I think it would be fun. That's what we're looking at doing. But give me your thoughts on that, and pencil that in if you are thinking that that's something you'd be down to join us for. All right, guys, this has been awesome. This has been a lot of fun. Again, it's our time. It's the best time of the year. It's the best week of the year. We're going to get more video game news, I think, this week. That's going to be exciting. Who knows what else is going to happen? It's a magical next 4 days. So enjoy it. Be good to each other. Be safe out there. Look out for escaped mental patients. Maybe look out for escaped mental patients. Happy Halloween, guys. Happy HalloWeek. Happy Michael Myers Monday HalloWeek edition. You guys rock. You guys are the best. I will see you again very soon, probably on Thursday night for our Halloween Eve countdown. It's going to be a blast. Happy Halloween. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for watching. You guys rock. You guys rule. You guys are killer. And we love you all. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night, Haddonfield.